Hi, everyone. Hi. There we go. I hope you're having a wonderful Sunday. It's your girl T.U.O. I'm coming back to you with another reality check. Sometimes I get confused with reality check or clapback. I'll be excited for that clapback. But, anyways, this is kind of a mixture of clapback and reality check, okay? Now, I have been watching Jersey Shore from the beginning up until I'm on the seventh season. Now, I can't hold it any longer. Okay. I am choking with doing a review. They have a new season coming out, season 9 coming out. So, oh, hi everyone. I finally did my hair a little bit. But, anyways, so I wanted to do a review on the reality check. I'm sorry, a reality check on Jersey Shore. Now, I got to see the cast humble beginning as far as Mike, Snooki, JWoww, Dina, Angelina, um, Sammy, Ronnie, DJ Pauly, Vinny, right? And let me start off with saying that my favorite cast member is Dina. Okay? She's very sweet, but don't let the sweetness fool you. Okay? I loved how she got Lauren together. That's how I was like, oh, I really like Dina. Um, One of the things that I really like about Dina is the fact that she is genuine, very sweet person. And the biggest thing for me is that she's natural. I love that she really didn't change anything. I can't really tell any difference in her appearance or her body. I love her body. I love that after 3 children, she accepts her body. She said in the strip club, "Am I thick like her?" And she actually embraces her thickness. So I think her body is beautiful out of all the girls. Jenny, of course, everybody's a hater of Jenny, and I'll just be added onto that bandwagon. But Jenny's body is not for me. I'll say that. It's not for me. I think I miss seeing Jenny's natural self. I miss seeing Snooki's natural self and even Angelina's natural self. They were very beautiful girls, okay? And that stuff stems from, sorry guys, I'm working on 2 hours of sleep, but that stuff stems from low self-esteem, right? And I can understand why Angelina has it, and we'll get into it. I'm not going to go through each season. I'm going to sweep on through it till I get to this point, because really, to be honest, each season was the same. Hey, look, I'm going to just be real. Each season was the same. So I'm going to touch on the redundant seasons, okay? Now, these cast members came together and they became roommates over a course of, what was it, 10 years initially for Jersey Shore. Angelina decided to leave the first season. She came back the second season, didn't last 24 hours. Now, I kind of didn't understand why there was friction between everybody. And what I like to do, if you watch my show, is I like to look at people's horoscope to see if the cast members mesh together. And so I know that Mike is a Cancer. I know Angelina is a Cancer. Pauly D is a Cancer. Vinny is a Scorpio. Um, who else is it? Jay Wow's a Pisces. Angelina and Ronnie are Sagittarius. Dina is a Capricorn as well as Lauren, right? And so I said, oh, well, this is a good cast. They will mesh together. But for some reason, Angelina is not able to coexist, uh, um, mesh well with the other cast members. She's always in conflict with someone, and I'm going to get into that a little bit later. But she ended up leaving, and Dina comes, which she joins the cast without effortlessly, right? Um, she basically, please like if you're here. She basically shows her hoo ha to Mike the first day she's there, which is a normal type of behavior out of them. Like I said, I enjoyed the cast. I enjoyed their antics and partying, especially in that age frame. Um, I like that. They were 20. I was 17 or something like that, 18, having a great time. Not like that. I wasn't a club person, but they were having the best time of their lives. Um, Once they got to Italy, I believe it was Italy, um, that's when things started to go downhill. Mike was very antagonistic, confrontational, um, instigation, and losing a lot of friends, right? And he was being ostracized. I, of course, like the fact that they finally, when I say they, Mike and Ronnie finally came to a collide. Oh, excuse me. They finally came to a collide. However, and this will be added on to what I'm watching now. Mike did get beat up by Ronnie and beat himself up on top of that. Um, so he was like, what do they say? What is it called? Hitting rock bottom. And so it was kind of scary. I think the whole thing with Snooki throwing the bottle was kind of shocking and scary. I don't care how angry a person is, they should never throw a weapon like that. Um, I know some of the things was brought out about Angelina, which I'm going to touch on, that's contradicting. This is the reason why I wanted to make a video about this, is because I'm finding a lot of contradiction in the roommates regarding the standards that they have for Angelina versus the standards that they have for themselves regarding Angelina. So, the friends stay together. I was so happy to find out that Ron and Sammy broke up. I dreaded Jersey Shore's seasons. I could not stand it. I was dying. I was exhausted every time I watched an episode of Jersey Shore. Ronnie and Sammy were fighting, and he was disrespecting her. I'm so glad that they decided to break up once they had the family vacation series. I'm glad that Sammy didn't come back right away. I'm glad that Ronnie was able to be single Ron or baby daddy Ron, and be able to enjoy himself away from Sammy, even though we still had drama um, with Ron being on the show, which I definitely did not support. I don't support the fact that Jenny was abusing Ron. And I also felt like Ron was probably antagonizing her, just like he was doing with Sammy. Once you show your behavior, it's very hard to change the perspective that people have of you. And so I was kind of skeptical on him, especially playing the victim. I found it so funny when he was saying, yeah, I'm crying again like a bee, and everything. And I was dying laughing. I was crying so hard when he said that. I was like, yeah, you are. And I'm getting sick and tired of watching every season. I mean, every episode where you're crying in the bathroom or having to walk away. And I understand that grieving a relationship is a part of life as well. I totally get that. And I'm sympathetic, but as a person that's supposed to be entertained, I was very annoyed. Because you kind of get your emotions connected with these shows sometimes. And I was a bit frustrated. I wanted him to get better. I wanted him to learn, but it's not on my time. It's on his time and God's time, right? And so I can admit that I was a bit irritated with Ronnie. But Ronnie also is my second favorite because he had them loose legs. He was a very adorable man. He was very attractive. Um, he was a great dancer. That's some of the things I enjoy. Um, I like all the cast members. Don't get me wrong. Jenny is my least favorite, and I'm gonna tell you why. So going into that, I understand Jenny has gotten in a fight with Sammy twice, and she has punched out situation, right? And she has also threatened Angelina because, for one, what the guys were doing at the time during Jersey Shore is that they were using Jenny as muscle. So if Angelina did anything that they didn't like, they would go tell Jenny, and then Jenny would be like, "Oh, why did you do that? I'll F you up." And I got so sick and tired of seeing "Stay get your A, B, stay get your A." I was so sick and tired of that, and watching Mike get punched in the face. I was so exhausted watching that over and over. It was like on replay, and um, sorry. Um, Jenny tends to take the bone that they give her and attack people, but it's mainly who she feels is weak. And so, of course, I was advocating or rooting for the not outlier, but the what you call it, dog. I had it, but I forgot. It's like at the tip of my tongue. But I was definitely rooting for Angelina, um, and hoping that she would stand up to Jenny and fight back. But it never happened. She just cowered down and left. Or she fought Snooki, which I felt was a fair fight. Um, but since Jenny has everyone's back, Angelina wasn't able to be her full self during the family vacation, and she was basically being bullied. The reason why I'm making this video is because I really feel like Angelina's being bullied. Let's just get to the point. I feel like Angelina, after watching this, maybe not during Jersey Shore time because she wasn't on the show that long, and I can't understand what transpired her to go through all this stuff, right? And it comes out that her and Mike had a little situation, and that's why she was jealous of the girls he was bringing over and stuff. So of course, it comes back full circle. We understand now. But as far as okay, once Angelina left Jersey Shore during that whole season, Ronnie and Sammy carried the show far as drama, right? That's kind of what reality television is that we like to see excitement, drama, fights and stuff. And of course, um, relatable situation, gender reveals, and having children and having husbands, fiancés, and stuff. Yes, people enjoy watching things like that. For the most part, it's really the drama, right? And so once Angelina left and she didn't realize her value, Ron and Sammy had to carry this show, and it was kind of toxic. It wasn't drama, it was toxic. It was like very traumatic for, I'm pretty sure, some viewers, because they were probably going through some things like that, or are going through some things like that. So let's just move forward. We understand that Ron and Sammy carried Jersey Shore season. Um, Even with Mike, inserting himself in that situation, being bitter that Sam chose Ronnie over him, you know. Um, let's just move forward with family vacation. I commend Mike for getting clean. It took him a very long time to actually come out and explain what his addictions were. Um, but he took that effort, that time out to get himself together. Um, he got married. He did his time. He came back and he was on a positive note. Um, Even while he was gone, though, I will say this: Angelina comes back the second season of Family Vacation, I believe. I think it was the second season, and it was a prank, but they end up bringing her back, and they didn't welcome her back. Jenny was like, "Why are you here?" She was being very hostile with her, very the underdog. Okay, I'm for the underdog. Um, she was being very aggressive towards her. And I understand that word is a strong word, but that's exactly what Jenny was being towards her, saying, "While you're here, nobody wants you here. You need to." And then later on in the show, she was like, "I really had a great time with you, but maybe this season is not the season for you to come back." And so when Angelina left again, once again, Ronnie in his situation with Jenny carried the season, and everything was focused on, oh, Ronnie's in TMZ, and oh, he got ran over, he's getting punched out, he's lying about being abused, and da 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 da. Right? Yes, that lady looked crazy, and I'm not gonna talk about nobody's mother, but she looked crazy. She was something to watch out for. So, but nobody else did anything. And it didn't matter what Ronnie did, it didn't matter how much he did. You know, I'll say this, and it was around the time that Mike was getting married. Nobody called Ronnie out except DJ Paulie. Okay? Nobody called him out. And that's the first time I ever seen Paulie out of character. Matter of fact, sorry. That was the second time, because he checked Angelina for slapping him, right? And he was like, "I'm done with you," you know, and that was the second time I seen him, not jovial and happy and just acting like he's ADHD, because that's what I think is wrong with him. Like, he is overly hyper. And I get it, when you out here living a life and you making money and stuff, of course. Um, um, let's see. So, I appreciate Paulie calling him out and saying, "You know what? You don't let us in. You don't tell us anything. Anytime we find out anything, it's in the news. So you can't sit up there and say that we're not there to support you when you want to be secretive with us." And whatever had transpired at the time, I'm not gonna remember everything that happened. Um, but I can appreciate that. But again, if Angelina had been able to stay, then she could have been able to carry that. And I also felt like Ronnie needed that outlet. He was like, "Well, look, the pressure is on. Like, it's too much pressure on me to carry the show." That's basically what it is. And Angelina was trying to help by saying, You're not the only one that's having relationship problems. Jenny is also having relationship problems. How come we are not allowed to talk about that? She's on national television. And that's kind of the excuses that they've used moving forward. And Jenny was like, oh, I just would appreciate it if everyone does not bring up my ex-husband while I'm going through this divorce and everything. And everybody was just supposed to oblige her. But if it was anybody else, they didn't have to oblige them. And that's kind of some of the things that I noticed is that they would accommodate one person, and it's always between Angelina and Ronnie. Those two can be thrown under the bus. So when Jenny found out that Angelina and Ronnie were trying to bring up the conversation about Roger, it was an issue for Jenny. She went off. She got upset, spitting at the mouth, uh, uh, um, foaming at the mouth, and saying that Angelina, was disrespectful. She was talking about her ex-husband. But I don't the issue that I had is, and I continue to have, is that Jenny will talk to Angelina a certain way. And mind you, I don't know how long they're taping, and then how the conversation turns to her cussing Angelina out and getting very hostile and aggressive, versus when she confronted Ronnie. And then it was like, Kumbaya, Ronnie, I just didn't like how you guys were having that conversation about him. It really hurt me. And I just really didn't appreciate, like, her tone and body language is totally different when it comes to Ronnie versus Angelina. She just does not respect her at all. And I don't feel like, if two people are doing the same thing, why does one deserve more respect than the other? Granted, I understand Angelina left the family early on, and that she's barely back and all this stuff, but that doesn't mean that one is greater than the other, and that Ronnie's your brother and all this stuff, right? Let me take a breath. So that was the first time I noticed some double standards, some inconsistency. And it kind of pissed me off, and I wanted Angelina to stand up for herself. Um, the next thing was, let me think. So while Mike was inside of prison, federal prison, um, Angelina was posting some type of Angelina was posting some type of articles that she got paid for, and Lauren didn't like it, right? And they were able to squash their whole situation pretty quickly. But I personally believe that Mike is still, or was still, upset that Angelina did that. So coming out, I don't think that he was an advocate of Angelina. So he was willing to throw her under the bus if need be. He is not loyal to Angelina. He is loyal to Jenny. He's loyal to anybody that's not Angelina. If Angelina is saying something. Now, let me say this. Though I am for the underdog, I continuously got pissed off because Angelina kept talking crap behind people's back. Like, she's rowdy about it. And then when she get in front of people, she's like, well, and one of the arguments I can think of is the one that I have right now in my mind. That's the reason that got me on here. But let's see. Okay. So let's just get into the nitty gritty. Angelina continues to be an outcast in the show. And I don't know why she continues to try. It started with the speech. That's what it was. Do I believe Angelina leaked the speech? it's a strong possibility because she is known for, posting articles or getting paid from, stories on her castmates. So it's a high possibility that she did. And I wish she would have admitted. I hope one day she does come out and say, yeah, I did do it after, because this is going to be the last season anyways. But eventually I hope she comes out and admit it that she leaked the article. I mean the audio of the speech, and that she was hurt. What I didn't like is that she was laughing at the time, and then all of a sudden it just turned to Satan. Like, it was a different personality. And I wish she understood, because I feel like Angelina at the time was trying to go along to get along, and that she didn't understand that she had the support of her family that was there at the wedding, and that she could have, it was a strong possibility that she could have checked them right then and there and be like, don't effing talk about my city like that, my borough like that, and don't ever disrespect me. She could have said that right then and there. She could have kicked them out right then and there. But she's kind of inconsistent in her behavior, because she wants to be accepted so bad by the Jersey Shore cast. Now, granted, the other issue was Jenny's boyfriend, 24, grinding up, groping Angelina, and she attacked Angelina and called her a effing liar, but then turned around and forgave him. We didn't get to see how she attacked him and cussed him out or treated. She said she kicked him out or whatever, but it was like, you know, and again, I think she apologized. She said, because that's when they go to the reunion, which I enjoy them having reunions. When they go to the reunion, that's the only time Jenny feels like her feet is being held to the fire, and she is obligated to apologize. If they didn't have reunions or anything, I don't think Jenny would feel the need to apologize for how she mistreat Angelina. It's disgusting to me. I don't care what anybody tells me. Is Angelina tripping too? I think, like I said, she does a lot of shit talking, rah behavior, and then when she's in the person's face, it's a different story. It's a different energy. I don't like that. Is she justified for having that energy? In some cases, yes, and in some cases, no. But most of the time, like the whole boyfriend thing, 24, she was justified by having that behavior because she wasn't the one that did anything inappropriate. Besides her trying to kiss, she did it in front of Jenny, and Jenny was like, she was right there, even though she wasn't coherent. I don't think neither one of them was really that coherent like that. Your boyfriend left you on the ground on a dirty, nasty floor and was rubbing on Angelina. He tried to kiss her in the elevator. Though Angelina was joking about having a threesome, like, come on now. Have you, like, I don't know, maybe y'all, because y'all be having secrets and stuff. Maybe you guys, be wanting to try that stuff. I know it was just disclosed that MVP, had a orgy, and that was like, whoa, TMI. TMI, I do not need to know. But I forgot my point that I was making, but that's one of the situations I just don't, with the whole Ronnie thing. And then let's think. Now, the speech, that whole thing with the speech dragged on for 2 seasons, I think. And Lord Jesus, help us all. If Angelina mentioned speech again, I was going to throw myself overboard. Because I was like, okay, they've apologized. They y'all kumbaya. Y'all put it to bed. You said you forgave them, but then you keep bringing it up. Or it was brought out by Chris, which I would not forgive Chris if he exposed you in your secret. He talking about, I'll give you my sperm. No, 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 no. You stay over there, sir. But Chris exposed that she leaked the audio, and then that started the whole speech up again, and the girls were in their feelings, and then Angelina was being aggressive to Dina. I don't know if it was around that time, but things like that kept brewing up. And it was also like Angelina was being in mess with everyone. She continuously wanted to have beef with Jenny, and I just finally accepted the fact that she's jealous of Jenny. She's jealous of Jenny. She's scared and she's jealous of Jenny for some odd reason. She is. I think she really wants to be accepted just like all the other girls are. But the thing is, Angelina, you have to realize that you're not going to be a flunky like Dina and Snooki. And not too much on Snooki though, but definitely Dina. When Dina exposed Jenny for saying, if you be her friend, if you make up with her, I'm not going to go out there, then you're saying she's the head honcho and that you guys do whatever she tells you to do. And it is always giving that. It's always giving Jenny is the leader and they follow. Whatever she's feeling, they follow her lead. And it kind of pisses me off because it's like, do you guys not have your own brain? Do you guys not have your own thought process? Um, so I kind of kept feeling sympathetic for Angelina in that kind of situation. Um, what was after the speech? I'm just going to go to the part where I just want to get to the point because it's going on 30 minutes now. The 24, the speech. So then Angelina professes her feelings for Vinny, 1.0. And she for a moment, she really was like, oh, I really care about him and everything, as she simultaneously is dating another Vinny. And hey guys, thank you for joining. Could you please like, comment, and subscribe? As she simultaneously uh is talking to another Vinny. So she does this whole lap dance. They go to Vinny's I forgot what you call that. I can't think of it right now, but Vinny's a stripper. They go to Vegas to watch Vinny strip and all this stuff. And Mike is into cornball, which I was really excited for Mike as well. I'm really happy for Mike having his children. I'm on the season where he's on his third child and everything. I'm really happy for Mike overcoming his struggle during the seasons. I didn't even know he had his own spinoff show. That's big. I don't even think any other castmate besides Vinny and DJ Pauly, having their own thing. I didn't even know Mike had his own spinoff. I don't even know if Snooki had her own. But anyways, that's besides the point. So I was really happy and I enjoyed those moments as well. But let me think. I just want to make sure I'm not skipping over anything. I may be going all over the place on this part. But she finally gets with Vinny 2.0 and she brings him on a trip. And everybody's shocked, like, oh, he's moved in with you, it's become serious and everything. And it is concerning. Now, the issue that I am having at this time is that she does not have good examples of men in her life. Her at the time to be at the time to believe her, I'm not saying it right. At the time, the father she believed was her father was treating her very poorly. And so I felt like maybe she was accepting some type of treatment that she probably shouldn't have been. Um, and and excuse me. Oh, and that her and Vinny was moving too fast. Her and Chris were I don't think they moved too fast because they were together for a few years. But her and Vinny moved pretty fast. It was like 2 weeks. Oh, I'm just talking to him. And then the next 2 weeks, by the time they went on the trip, he moved in. And it was kind of odd. He's being said to be a police officer, a New Jersey police officer, which, I don't think cops make good money, but it's not like he's out here broke, right? And so I was supportive of that. He reminded me of Chris, of course. And I was like, okay, at least she was able to move on and leave Vinny alone. Oh, that's another thing. Angelina was pissing me off with the whole getting at Vinny. Every time Paulie would say something, she wouldn't say anything. She would laugh, and then if Vinny say something, she'll say, "Shut the f up, Vinny." They'll have this banter back and forth. I do like the fact that one of her allies, of course, Ronnie was one of her allies, but the other person that was her off and on ally and really could care less is Vinny. And I actually appreciate that. I really appreciate the fact that he backed her up on the whole discussion about 24. He was very supportive of her in that situation. But then Angelina has this thing where she kind of burns her bridges. That's what they used to call it when I was younger. She was burning her bridges. Like he said, I'm the only one that was there, speaking up on your behalf. And so it's kind of hard to stick up for her. Dina was the only one who was sticking up for her, and she kind of burned her bridge with that. And it's kind of, they call it a merry-go-round. And it's like, you need to learn how to have these conversations in 5 minutes instead, instead of 3 hours, because that's crazy. That was a bit frustrating for me. And I was even looking at the clock when you and Mike were talking and in your kitchen, and I was like, "Oh my god, what's the time? 6:30, 7:30. Oh my goodness, this conversation is going on longer and longer." And it's usually stems from the fact that it's usually stemming from the fact that some people cannot take accountability of their actions. When they were in the kitchen, it was, oh, that's where the double standards come from, right? Angelina gets a divorce from Chris, and then Mike gets a call from Chris in the side piece. And and Angelina made sure she told them, I just wish you guys, whether she was trying to get in front of it or beside it, whatever she was trying to do at that time, she asked you guys, if you could, do not speak to my ex and do not speak to anyone in this whole situation involving my divorce. Because just like JWoww's situation, it could mess up her money or, the agreement of her divorce. And nobody respected it. Everybody engaged. Everybody discussed it. They even came out and said that they were going to bring the side piece on Mike's podcast and interview him, have JWoww interview him. Yes, she did decline to do it, but did JWoww go back and tell Angelina that they were having discussions about that? That shows that you're not really her friend and you're not trying to be her friend like that. And your loyalty lies with Mike, of course. Okay, got it. But then you cannot ask for the same respect from Angelina. That's all I'm saying. It's like a lot of, I expect for you to do this for me because you're trying to earn my friendship. I'm not trying to earn your friendship. So it's just like she's fucked either way. Excuse my language. She's screwed either way. That's why I got pissed. I was like, oh, this is just not gonna work. I couldn't do it. I couldn't be on the show. Cause then I will be hot like fish grease. I would throw fish grease. I just couldn't do it. I just couldn't do it. So that was one of the situations where the investigator came out, did a whole little billboard about her. Nobody ever disrespected Jenny like that, or anybody in it, not even Ron like that. He never disrespected anybody like that, but it was okay. It was greenlit to disrespect Angelina like that. But I'll move on. the most recent situation, because it's getting long and I don't really like to go over an hour. The most recent situation was um, with her engagement to Vinny. They just met Vinny. They had the divorce party. Then the next day, Vinny decides to propose to Angelina on Vinny's birthday, Vinny 1.0's birthday. And, excuse me. And, mm, sorry. And Angelina starts scanning the room to see everybody's response, and she noticed that Jenny was not very supportive. That's what she believed. I also believe that too, because if you listen to the side conversations Jenny was having, she was very unsupportive of the engagement. Yes, they all said, "We just met the guy. We just met the guy. You know, you just met the guy, or whatever." I get that part. But it wasn't, it was something I can't remember at this moment, but she was definitely talking crap. And I need Angelina to stay focused, take notes or something. I don't know if she gets high to the sky, but she needs to take some notes or something so she can stay focused on why she's angry about things. You were upset because Angelina was talking, I mean, Jenny was talking about you. Once you guys had the reunion, you should have been like, "See, I told you guys she was talking crap about about me when I got engaged." Her and Zach were talking major crap. Like, and then trying to spin it like, "Oh well, I asked all my girlfriends that. You don't have a girlfriend. You don't have close friends like that to understand that's what girlfriends do." No, no, no. My girlfriends are not going to sit on the sideline talking to their boyfriend, talking about something they barely met. They don't even know each other like that. Well, like whatever they said at the time, y'all go watch that. I think it was season 6 that it happened. And so Angelina was upset about that. She came for Jenny again, and once again, I was frustrated because Angelina will talk crap, and she won't confront the person. Of course, Mike went back and told Jenny, and Jenny broke down. Now, this is where I noticed that from the speech, right? I noticed Angelina finally felt support from the fans, that people were like, "Oh my God, Angelina, Snooki, JY, Dina, they're disgusting. How could they're a bunch of mean girls?" And they were also threatening their children. So they were on guard on how they dealt with Angelina. They were also playing their cards right. I during season 7, I kept hearing they're playing chess. They're playing. So yes, they were definitely playing chess during this time with Angelina, after the whole speech thing, because they were being threatened. I completely understand, and they kept exposing Angelina. She is very annoying because, like I said, she continues to talk crap about people behind their back, and then when they're in the face, then she does not keep that same energy. Is what I don't like. Um, After, so Mike goes and tells Jenny that about the whole engagement, and Jenny breaks down and starts crying because she was like, "I'm gonna gain sympathy from the fans." Basically, if y'all don't understand that, y'all getting played. So Jenny's like, "I'm gonna gain sympathy," knowing damn well, she said, "I was supportive of the engagement." Yes and no, because you and Zach were sitting up there talking crap. Y'all go back and watch that season. And she played her cards and started crying. And did the fans attack her? No, they probably kept on, attacking Angelina. It was like, "Oh, you're crazy. You always have a problem with people, blah, 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 blah." Right? And so that's when Angelina and Mike had that hour conversation at her home. And he's like, "You have problems with everybody. Your shit is not together." Excuse my language. I also like the fact that they started cursing at a certain point in the franchise. I was like, "Oh, well, we're just saying f bombs and f this and this and that." Um, so that whole thing, that whole drama happened. Nobody was in support of Angelina. Nobody came to her rescue. Nobody advocated for her. Nobody was sympathetic to her at that time. Um, it would just like leave her to the wayside, right? So I think they were able to finally get past that during the reunion or whatever. They always make amends. Or that's probably when Angelina got crazy on Dina. But anyways, I don't like Justina for the reunion. That's just my opinion. But I'm not a Guido, so I can't really Guido and Guidette. I'm not any of those. So I can't really say what it is, but she just don't give good questions. I need her to give those hard questions, address the situation and stuff, let them hash it out. Um, so the most recent issue that Angelina is having is that she brought Sammy back. She brought Sammy back and she was hoping to utilize Sammy as a buffer in the situation with Angelina. Okay, I'm going too fast. Angelina goes to Lauren's event and she's surprised that nobody else is attending. Um, and it wasn't just the girls. Now that I'm thinking about it, she was the only one there. So she couldn't have just said, the girl, she said, that's funny that no one's here. They're your friends, right? I just realized that Vinny and Paulie didn't even take it personal. They weren't there. They weren't there, you know? And so Mike's like, yeah, I was really hurt. You know, it really hurts me. But hey, if you don't send out an invite, then everybody's mad and blah, blah, blah. And then she's like, yeah, don't even think about it. Like, she's trying to be supportive. And like Mike said, Angelina was being Angelina, pointing out the obvious, basically. But she wasn't antagonizing the situation like, dang. And here I thought, you know, you always leave me on the wayside. She didn't say anything like, because I would have. Like, here I am coming to your events and, you know, your real friends are not even showing up. You know, I would have said some stuff, some messy stuff like that. But she she basically was supportive and Mike said he was hurt. But when it came time the next day, Mike texted Jenny in turns, twisted the story and said that Angelina was being messy. Angelina is sitting up there fighting for her life during that what they call that charcuterie brunch and whatever the freak they call it. The charcuterie gathering. Um they attacked her. And Jenny comes and says, I really didn't want to say anything, but Mike sent me a text message saying that Angelina's being messy and talking about we didn't show up and blah, blah, blah. And so as Angelina walks into the storm, they're trying to, her friend Sam, matter of fact, let me back up a little bit. She brings Sam back. Sam was supposed to be a buffer between the drama that Angelina and the girls had. What was it about? Hell, it was so much. Oh, she attacked Dina. That's what it was at the reunion. So they was like, "Oh, you tripping?" And so she was supposed to be using Sam as a buffer and using her as a pit bull and as an ally. Two things I noticed. Jenny first said that, oh, she only brought Sam so she could be an ally. I'm going to resolve this issue quick, fast, in a hurry so that Sam can't not be her ally. Everybody resolved their issue with Sam so that Angelina could not have an ally. Angelina decides that didn't work and that maybe, I'll just let them enjoy their time with Sam and then we can have, and she starts, picking off one by one, having a conversation with the girls about what happened and making amends and being apologetic. Do I think she was out of line with that whole Dina thing? Of course I do. It was unnecessary for her to do all that. And I don't understand why she gets all rah, rah, rah with Dina, but she can't do that with Jenny. That's who you need to do that with. I feel like the fact that Sam and Jenny got into that fight is the reason why Jenny respects Sam. I'm gonna just say that. And they don't never. You beat her at once, but the second time she whooped you. Okay, and I feel like if Angelina would just go ahead, like she did fight Snooki, but that was like two chihuahuas fighting. I think they even said that. That wasn't really like I kind of respect you type of thing. So I think if you were to, and it's not about win or lose, but I understand you paid a lot for your face. Um, so she makes amends, and then everybody's cool. Everybody's cool. And then the whole thing with the event with Lauren, and then Mike sends that text. So when she goes, she's thinking she's all cool. And then Sam hits her with, "How was Lauren's event?" And then Angelina's like, "Oh, okay, okay, all right, all right, all right." From training day. But anyways, um, I'm gonna put cases on all you. So anyways, um, so she said it was fine. I just found it odd that you guys weren't there, and that's what I told Mike. Everything she said at the event, she told the girls. But do you know what the girls did? They attacked her. They screamed at her. Who the hell are you to no? Who the are you to tell Mike that we should have been there and that we're not his friends and whatever they were spewing. She's like, I didn't say any of that. What are you talking about? Mike said that you were being messy and that you were trying to throw us under the bus. You should have stuck up for us. You should have stuck up for us. And then turned around and said, we're not fucking friends. I said, well, then, bitch, why would she stick up for y'all? Because you just said that you're not friends. So why would she stick up for people who's not her friend? Minus Dina and possibly Snooki, right? Why would Angelina stick up for JWoww when she feels like um she's not you're not her friend? She continues to try to be your friend, but you continue to disrespect her in this manner. You know, it's been so much. Oh, this whole, well, we're going to agree. I'm jumping a little bit back. We're going to agree not to talk about each other on social media. I don't have a problem with doing that. And then turn around, JWoww goes ahead and talks about Angelina on social media. I don't remember if she apologized for that, but what's good for the goose is good for the gander. Okay. Um, Go ahead and take that one, Mike. Um, I just find it funny that Angelina sitting up here fighting for her life, going back to prove to these people, I didn't do anything. Why are you guys attacking me? I don't understand. She calls Mike, and Mike is like, well, I didn't say that, but it's really not that big of a deal, and all this stuff, right? Fast forward, Angelina goes outside, she's crying. Oh, I'm sorry. Sammy says, "Oh, you're messy. You like your drama. You something." She says something very disrespectful to Angelina in that manner, and she's like, and Angelina says to their face, "I believe that you guys could have changed your schedule. Some of yous." I like when they say that. Some of yous could have changed your schedule around. And they're like, "Who the fuck are you to tell me to change my schedule? You don't know what it's like being a mother." And then Sammy, which was surprising to me, was like, I own a business. You don't know anything about that, do you? You wouldn't know anything about that. And I was like, oh, shots fired, child. Oh, goddamn. How quickly friends turn to foes. Because I was like, damn, was that warranted? And it wasn't like she said, you particularly, or you, or you, or you. She didn't even say the guys. She just said in general, your friends. And that some of yous, didn't say you, could have changed your schedule. But a lot of people took that crap personal. But I felt disrespected for Angela when she said that. You don't know. And then she was like, and then Jenny was like, nobody wants you here. Again, it's the second time that she said, nobody wants you here. Nobody likes you. That hurted. I heard it for Angela when she said that, because it's like, God, I keep trying and trying and trying. And every time I try, you guys slap me in the face. You guys cut me at my knee. And I'm constantly begging and begging for you to accept me. And it's like, what more do you want? You want blood? So I felt sympathetic for Angelina because she was being honest. She was being forthcoming. She didn't take it to social media. She told you guys to your face exactly what it is. Then you turn around and said you're not her friend. So then why does she have to defend you? You're talking out of both sides in your mouth. And it was pissing me off. Especially when she said nobody. I said, who are you? You don't speak for anybody. But this is going back to the whole head honcho type of thing. Head honcho type of thing. She didn't been supportive to everybody. So let me move forward because it's getting about that time. So Sammy goes outside. Angelina's crying. She apologizes. She said, maybe I jumped the gun because I know how Mike is. Yeah, but you've already said what you said. You've already said the hurtful things that you said. Yes, you apologize, but it's already said. You can't take back what you said. I know how you really feel now. So everything that we agreed upon in that DM about you being my friend and you being supportive and being my ally is out the window because I see how quickly friends turn to foes. Go ahead and use that, Mike. So then they go forward. Let me think. What's the next thing? Because I don't really think it was that much. Oh, Angelina, Mike finds Angelina's father. But in between that, Angelina has a conversation with Mike on the trip and says, you need to tell the people that that's not how it went down. And the conversation went on and on that Mike caved in. It was like, all right, I'll just tell him. And he told them it wasn't in a malicious way. She was just being a supportive friend to me and concerned, but she was not being malicious. Jenny said that Mike turned towards her and said it was malicious. But guess what? Sammy apologized. Dina apologized. I feel like Jenny just found an excuse not to apologize. And I hope that, because I'm not there yet, I hope that it gets to the point where they confront Mike in front of everybody and say, you know what? Jenny keeps saying that you said that it was malicious. Was it or was it not? And he has to make a decision right then and there. Is he going to stick with his lie or stick with the truth? He has to make a decision because he's flip-flopping. Let me also say this while I'm over here thinking about the new stitch and the old stitch. Or stitch, excuse me. Food is an addiction as well. And Mike needs to be careful. He just got rid of one addiction or several addictions just to pick up another one. And in the way that he does eat, even though it's not harmful, but it is harmful to his health. And I encourage him to be careful with that because it's not cool. I am one to talk, but I'm just saying, be careful. But so Mike tells everyone that it wasn't malicious. And so they move forward. Jenny doesn't apologize. Everybody's moving forward. They're having a great time. And at this time, I'm kind of like in and out because I'm getting tired of Angelina fucking pissing, stupid, and all this stuff. And then when she get in front of people, what? Or whatever. So I guess Sammy finds out that Angelina was talking crap about her behind her back. So she confronts her via text message. And she's like, what are you talking about? No, I would never do that or whatever. And they go on the trip. And as they're leaving, I think it was for Jersey Shore Day. And I'm going to talk about that in a second. Jersey Shore Day, Angelina's the last to come downstairs per usual. Angelina says to Dina, she's on speaker, I just wish somebody like Sammy would have come to my room to check on me and wait on me. So basically, so I wouldn't be the only one that's late coming downstairs. But Sammy took her name, just her name being mentioned, and said, don't can talk about me. I'm getting tired of you mentioning my name, and I don't have to, it's not my responsibility to make sure you get downstairs. That's strike two, saying that you're not her friend, because that's what friends do. They make, like, Snooky and Dina make sure that they stick together. Snooky and Jenny make sure that they stick together, that everybody's with one another, right? And all she's looking for is someone to check on her. And yes, every once in a while they do that, and I get that it's frustrating too, because Angelina takes a long time, and they're waiting for her 20, you know, 30 minutes to do something. But that's all she said. I don't think it was warranted for her to be talked to like that. So she was like, I'm done. I'm not coming downstairs. She comes downstairs. They go to the Jersey Shore house. Miss Polly. Vinny had to leave. They're upset. They go out and drink. Angelina is finally quiet. She's not combating. She's not talking. Because she said, every time I open my mouth, it's a problem. Every time I say something, it's a problem. It's starting to build up. I can feel it. And so they go out to drink. Every time Angelina drinks, she gets beer balls. And that's when she tells the truth. And I guess she said, I don't like how you talking to me. I don't know. She says something. And Sammy's like, what's wrong with you? What are you talking about? What's going on? And Angelina's not really being coherent. And Sammy says, I don't know what's wrong with you, but you're acting like I feel like I'm talking to a child. You're having a temper tantrum, something like that. And Angelina took that and said, I'm not an effing toddler. And, she walks away. She's like, F you, walks away, goes in the bathroom, starts talking major crap. And Jenny follows her. Snooky follows her. And they're just hiding in the stalls, laughing, giggling and stuff while Angelina's going off, witnessing her talk major. Like, this is what you do. And they set Angelina up. If you don't realize that, Angelina, they set you up because they wanted to make sure that Sammy was not going to be your ally. Even Jenny said, oh, you better be careful, Sammy, because once you get on her bad side, it's going to be a merry-go-round and you're going to be arguing with her for 5 years. They just exposed you for being like that, for being that. And now Sammy is reinforcing, like, oh yeah, they were right. She's tripping. I'm not dealing with that or whatever. They're not your allies. I'm sorry. Nobody sticks up for you. I'm gonna be real with you. Nobody sticks up for you. Nobody. Nobody. And anytime they do, they like forced to do it. And it's sad. I'm gonna be real with y'all. You guys are bullies. Jenny, definitely number one bully. Jenny is a bully. And everybody that follows behind Jenny and they jump on Angelina at the same time, they're all bullies. Sammy, also bully. I do agree with that. So that becomes a thing of arguing about Sammy calling her a toddler. It goes on and on and on, and then they say, okay, we're going to squash it and just coexist. Finally, they go back and they're just exhausted because no one can be the bigger person. Because Sammy keeps saying, "Oh, you think I'm going to bow down? You got another thing coming." That's never going to happen. But then eventually it happens because she's so freaking exhausted with arguing. She's like, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. I hurt your feelings. And it's just like, why can't you just at the start say, you know what? I should never disrespect you as a grown woman and call you a toddler. I should have said what it was. Why are you so upset with me for no reason? I feel like it's for no reason. Like, y'all need to learn how to have grown conversations. That's another thing. Don't know how to have grown conversations. We're so classy now. No, we're gonna get in it. We're gonna get in it in a minute. So Angelina is still boiling, and she's like, I was there for you. I'm the reason that you came back on the show. I'm the reason why you got your house. I'm the reason why you are who you are. Something. Some she keeps spewing out. But Angelina has a point, and it's the reason why I want to get on here and say this. I wish Angelina would tell her to her face. Angelina keeps scurrying around. Oh, the reason why me and Sammy fell out is because of Mike. That's where it stemmed from. I get what you're saying, because before that, everything was kumbaya, and then all of a sudden it went downhill because Mike threw you under the bus. They all planned on making sure you don't have an ally. But the ultimate issue you have with Sam is that she didn't keep her agreement that was in the DMs. You read the DMs. It was supposed to be you guys are allies against the girls if need be, right? And that she was supposed to be your friend, but it didn't turn out that way. If it because it okay, so Sam heard that she was talking about Angeline was talking about Sam during the press tours and stuff. But it's like it's okay for you to listen to other people, but Angelina's not allowed to listen or speak to other people, the fan club, right? So they go to oh, Green Packer, Green Bay. Oh Lord, don't shoot me. But they go to a football game, um, and um, Angelina, this was pissing me off. Angelina's like, oh, I'm too sick. I'm probably not gonna come to the game. She ends up coming to the game. I'm like, look, stop playing this game. Then Angelina texts one of the football players, see you around or something. The wife gets on social media and says, you're over here DMing a married man. Mind you, oh, I'm sorry. I'm jumping all over the place. Angelina finally meets her father. He has a bunch of red flags. He's asking about, oh, is that a Rolex? Oh, that's nice. Oh, how much money are you making? It's just, I was like, oh. So when they came back from the reunion and everything, they said it's not so good. I was hoping, and God forgive me, I was hoping he died. But no, he was trying to use his daughter. I got a few questions for you, Angelina. Did you pay his rent? I understand you getting his pet, to the vet hospital and everything. Did you get his teeth fixed? Did you do the things that he the $2,500? Did you give him that? I have questions that need answering. Did you do those things? I hope not. But Angelina got so upset because she felt like she was being taken advantage of, which is why I feel like maybe Benny is also doing that too. We don't know, but he's around. She said that she was having problems with Benny. He was gone late nights, working 24 hours, staying in hotels and all this stuff. And that he was not paying the mortgage or something. Basically taking advantage of her as well. That's the story that Angelina is bringing, and she brought it to the wrong person. If you want your business to be spread around, tell Mike. You want your business to stay a secret, tell Snooki. I feel like Snooki has amnesia, or Snooki be so in her own world that she don't really be talking about people business like that. Tell Snooki, tell Dina, you know, but don't tell the biggest mouth on your show. And so fast forward, um, the lady on social media exposes Dina, and then they go on a trip, and wasn't that the trip? I don't know. Sam says, "Keep my name out your mouth." She's constantly saying, "Keep my name out your mouth. You're pissing me off with that," or whatever. And Angelina's like, keep my name out your mouth or whatever. So it comes to an head where, let me think, where, 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 what's her name? Sammy does a TikTok. If I hear TikTok one more time, I'm gonna be pissed. But she does a TikTok with the girl, the wife that exposed Angelina. Now, mind you, Angelina only says see you soon. She didn't say I want to suck it. I want to do it. I want to. She didn't say any of those things. So I understand what she was exposing. You act like your husband doesn't get other DMs or something like that, but it didn't go any further. And so, um, she does a TikTok with the girl. I forgot like why Sammy possibly did it. I know she was mad at Angelina, but one thing that they agreed on was not taking it to some social media, and that they had a problem that they can, handle it on their own. And the thing is, I had several issues with it. None of the castmates, none of the roommates called Sammy out about it. They didn't say that's not what we do as a family. We don't go to social media. We don't socialize with foes. If they have a beef with you, then they got a problem with us. We don't go to outsiders. That was one of the requests being made by other roommates. And so they should have called her out. Hold her to the same fire that you hold Angelina. But all they kept doing was rolling their eyes, all this stuff. Every time Sammy kept saying, I didn't put it on social media. Like, then just say it. Say that yes, you did. You, indirectly, you put it on social media. You should never have done a TikTok with that girl. And so Angelina was extremely hurt. So then she put a happy face on the video. And then somebody responded and said that Sammy's being messy. And she said, yeah, because I'm the reason why she came back on the show. I'm the reason why she was able to buy her house. I'm the reason why she's basically making this money. Now, I want to say something, Sam. Angelina is correct. I wish Angelina would tell you just like that to your face. And everything she's saying, you're unappreciative to me. Because when we saw Sam come back, where was she? Yes, she had her little boutiques on the border, right? But she was living in an apartment with her boyfriend. And she came out and was like, oh, I got my house because I got a business and me and my boyfriend work. Girl, who you fooling? Y'all didn't have that money until you got back on the show. Let's keep it a buck. Okay, let's keep it a buck. $176,000 house. Let's keep it a buck. You had everybody else blocked, and Angelina was the only one you're willing to speak to. And you was like, I'm so glad that she reached out to me because I would have never came back if she had not reached out to me. Can you just humble yourself a little bit? Like, yes, me being on the show did help me. It did boost my income to where I was able to buy a house. That's really, and then it's gonna automatically stem to the fact that Angelina is the reason why you're back on the show making money. You were in an apartment, man. You were in an apartment. You were in an apartment. You were not living the life that these girls were living. Let's be real. So don't minimize Angelina's effort in this. Is she a scary? Yes. But that's besides the point. She did bring you back. So you should never bite the hand that feeds you. So I wish Angelina would check Sammy, I don't know if she has or hasn't because I haven't finished the season yet. But I'm really pissed off. Let me say one more thing. I can't believe they got a Jersey Shore day. Because you guys are sitting up here praising at the time, and they said the governor was like, this is a negative representation of New Jersey, right? And it is. You guys were fighting. You guys were doing drugs. You guys are alcoholics. That's what I was going to say. I love the fact that Paulie D and Vinny don't drink all the time. They drink every once in a while. They have a good time every once in a while. But them girls, every time they go on a trip, they get slurred. Okay? You guys do have poor reputation or representation to the public eye, to your fans. You're saying it's okay to do these things. And yes, if Mike, they read your book, they will hopefully go a different route. But if they don't, if they think, well, maybe I can just have some fun now and then I can be like Mike and recover later on in life, whatever the case may be, you guys did not give out a good reputation. I feel like Jersey Shore and Love and Hip Hop is on the same level. And I feel like y'all just as ghetto. And I feel like y'all try, like I said, Justina, she be trying to come off like she's a black woman. From Justina to them, it's like you trying to be a black woman. They are Italian. She's trying to be something she's not. Especially with that last reunion, I saw her in that lace thing. I was like, oh girl, and she got her body done. Please get a different person to host the reunions, producers. Please. I don't like Justina. And I get tired of red hair. Change it up. Do something. The only reason why she got to produce, to do the reunion is because Nick Cannon set it up to where he make an appearance on the show. And if Justina can host a reunion. I mean, are you guys slow? So I think that's my only request as far as to Angelina, is that you keep that same energy that you have in confessions and behind the scenes and all this stuff. I hope, I don't know, I'm not finished with the scene. I hope she stays with Vinny 2.0. I would love to see that relationship flourish because he has her back. Whatever's going on, maybe it's in her head, like she overthinks all the time, and that's what they should have said. I love the fact that Vinny stood up for Angelina to Mike, and Mike had to go ahead and back down. He was like, oh yeah, he's pretty strong. Yeah, Mike, don't get ran through the wall again and embarrass yourself in front of your pregnant wife. Okay? Calm it down. Like, I don't even know why. Boy, calm down. That man would have snapped. You got, let's be real, Mike is heavy on top, but I don't think it's muscle like that. Because they said GTL, they only did the T. We didn't see them go to the gym. We didn't see them go do laundry. They on some different type of time. Okay. So I love the fact that Vinny stuck up for her, and it was like, stop making your little side comments. Y'all need to sit down and chill. I'm trying to mediate this. Y'all tripping. And that Vinny and Justin came together. It's like they need to just agree to disagree. I love the fact that Vinny removed himself from that situation where Sam was disrespecting him. Let me tell you something. You, as a woman, should never have talked to Vinny like that. That was out of line, and I hope Justin got you together, even though he said, yeah, that was wrong. Outside of his presence, that was so disrespectful and uncomfortable. I'm glad he was like, all right, I'm going to remove myself out of the situation. And then Jenny was like, why did you even come in here? And he was so confused and taken back, like, I don't even remember why I came here. But before I say something and go off, I'm going to step away. And I was also thinking, like, Mike, he's a cop. If you touch him, you had a federal charge, sir. Go sit down somewhere before you go back to jail. Because even though he's off shift, you can still get you can still catch a charge by attacking a police officer off duty. It's all in the statement. Off-duty police. What kind of idiotic shit is you on? He had to really think about that, like, all right. It was funny. I was like, okay, cool. I was like, show him what you got, Vinny. Yeah, Vinny, show him what you got. And they was able to make it. I love that the men make it a little bit lighter, okay? And that they're pushing things along. I love Thomas Day. Everybody screaming, everybody, getting it out. So that's kind of what was on my heart. I couldn't hold it anymore. Angelina, I'm sorry that you're being bullied. If it were me, girl, I would have left a long time ago. I don't understand how you can stand. I get it's the money. I don't understand how you can stand to be disrespected, to be mistreated. You have no friends. I'm glad that you brought Benny back on the show to help and back you up, and that he's speaking up like, yeah, this is what it is. They're gonna say, oh, he speaks for both of them. Yeah, that's her fiance. And if it does come out that Angelina said whatever she said, she was talking about Chris trying to give her sperm. There was a what you call it, a double back on the guy, the side piece and stuff. Even if that were the case, I don't think she slept with any of them. That doesn't matter if she talked to them on the phone. The point is that she went back to her relationship with Vinny. That's who she wants to be with. That's who she's being consistent with. I think Angelina is just hurt in her relationship, and that is okay. She's hurt in her relationship with her father. That's what I want to say. She's hurt in her relationship with her father, and I sympathize with or empathize with her. I think Angelina needs therapy. I think she needs to unpack her issues about having an absent father. I think she needs to stay away from that man that is her biological father, because he's already shown you his true colors. I think that she needs to start working on mending her relationship, and that if she finds she dislikes something, to try to have a conversation with a civilized 30-minute at tops conversation with these people, and resolve it. If they don't agree, if they don't feel like they need to take accountability, you cannot force people to take accountability. If they do not take accountability, you remove yourself from the situation and say, well, thank you at least for listening or hearing me out. And then move on from there, Angelina, please. And do not trust them with your most vulnerable self, your most vulnerable secrets. Keep some things to yourself. You can film with somebody else. Now that Ronnie's back on the show, which that's the other thing. Everybody's accommodating, making sure that Sam is comfortable with Ronnie returning. That's what really forced me to do this video. They wanted to make sure that Sam was comfortable with Ronnie returning and everything. But after that whole video, that TikTok video that Sam made, nobody made sure that Angelina was comfortable. It's very contradicting, very inconsistent, very one-sided. Angelina has to follow certain rules to be a part of the family. Everybody else can just go wild. Everybody else can just do what they do. Even when Vinny said, "Oh, well, if it's in the note," and he stopped, and then Sam was like, "I'm not joking. Don't do that." And then he came back immediately after dinner and was like, "I was just going to say what Mike said. I wasn't going to say anything about the note itself." And she was like, "Oh, thank you. I really appreciate that." They just moved on. Even when she confronted him, it wasn't as aggressive as they are with Angelina. They just have a different energy with Angelina. And I get maybe it's because Angelina is very what's the word I'm looking for? Very vulgar. She's very vulgar, but it doesn't mean that she doesn't have feelings. It doesn't mean that it doesn't hurt just the same. You feel me? So I again, I'm here for the underdog. And so Dina's first, of course. Don't ever speak to Dina like that again, Angelina. And I'm here for Angelina. I hope she overcomes whatever the freak she struck. I hope that's her that's getting married in the ninth season, but I think it's most likely going to be, what's that girl named, Sammy, or you know what, Jenny, because I forgot she was engaged for a long time. Dang, I really hope that she didn't leave Benny because he was a good one. He's a good man, Savannah. All right, I usually like to stop at an hour, but hour 25, so I'm gonna leave it here. Thank you. Please like, comment, and subscribe. Y'all let me know who your favorite cast member is. I'm pretty sure it's gonna be Paulie G. I wonder, can I do a poll? Can I do a poll? I don't know. How do I do a poll? I wish I could do a poll. All right, guys. I'll figure it out next time. Thank you for watching my video. Please like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll hit you guys later. I'll talk to you guys next time. Bye.